shake this off, so I'm gonna have to shake it up. It won't go away on its own, so I'm gonna have to shake it up. Listen to me, people, I want you to know. Gonna have to shake it up. If the road's not headed where you wanna go, gonna have to shake it up. You can sit around complain, but that won't get you nowhere. Gonna have to shake it up. These privileges we've had, they haven't always been there. Someone had to shake it up.
Good morning, Barcelona. This is Mia Weinberg, and you're listening to Movers and Shakers on 106.9 FM, Ràdio Kanal, Barcelona. Movers and Shakers introduces you to inspiring people doing interesting things, the people who are moving and shaking things up here in the city. There are various ways you can listen or watch the show. You can tune in on the radio at 106.9 FM or on the Ràdio Kanal Barcelona.com website. And you can also find us on Facebook on either the Ràdio Kanal Barcelona Facebook page or on the Movers and Shakers 106.9 page. Please be sure to like us and tell us what inspires you. Once again, I am Mia Weinberg, and joining me today is distinguished musician and author Adriana Alcaide. She is here today to talk about her journey as a musician as well as her upcoming projects. Adriana is from Barcelona, where she completed her studies. Afterwards, she specialized in historical performance, and with the support of a grant from the Catalan government, studied Baroque violin for 4 years at the Royal Conservatory at The Hague in the Netherlands. From 2000 to 2002, Adriana was selected as a member in the European Baroque Orchestra. She has been part of Concerto Amsterdam, Berlin Baroque, Florilegium Musicum, and Utrecht Baroque Consort, and currently works with La Arpeggiata, Ludovisi Ensemble, Al Aire Barcelona, Español, and Orquesta Barroca de Sevilla. Adriana has recorded for multiple record labels such as Harmonia Mundi, Naive, and Brilliant Classics, and has performed at illustrious music halls internationally, including Carnegie Hall in New York, the Wigmore Hall in London, Théâtre des Champs-Élysées in Paris, Auditorio Nacional, and Museo del Prado in Madrid, and here in Barcelona at La Auditori, El Palau de Música, and Museo de la Música. Founder of Symbiotic Ensemble and Folia Project, she combines music with visual work, implementing the art of free improvisation in her performances. Currently, Adriana is a musical director and performer of Handel and Friends from Auditori Educa at La Auditori here in Barcelona, which is a pedagogical project for children and families. Adriana has recently released her solo CD, Still Life, which is a fusion of Baroque music for solo violin, her voice, and improvisations with contemporary language, which has been received good reviews. And last September, Adriana released her first book, Mujerísima, dedicated to women to embrace and celebrate their feminine power, and is now offering personal development workshops using different forms of artistic expression as a way of inner transformation. So we're in for a treat today, because not only will we be learning about Adriana and her work, but we will also have a chance to listen to some selections she has chosen from her new CD. So welcome to the show, Adriana.
Thank you, Mia. I'm really excited of being here and sharing, what I am and what I do.
Great. So first, how were your holidays?
They were good. They were different than all. Yes. For everybody. I think it's like that, but they were very interesting because also with this loneliness, and I could experiment and accept much more things that normally are difficult to do.
Do you find that your music is an outlet for you at such a strange and difficult time?
Yeah, it's really music, as all art, it's always a way of expression, of connecting with yourself, connecting with the others. So it's always a medicine for the soul.
So it's something that you can turn to in such a strange time. It's
for sure, yeah.
So, and how has your work been affected by the pandemic? Are you able to still perform? How have you had to shift, how you work during these last 9 months?
It was a completely and radical change because many festivals, they canceled the concerts. Also with these new restrictions, it's like a everyday news. So maybe tomorrow you have a concert, but they call you and no, tomorrow it's not possible to do it. So it's very unpredictable, everything. And for us artists and musicians in general, it has been a big shock because we are used to live our life with performing and being on the stage, and really has affected us a lot. So for me personally, I mean, I'm used to change because I'm very kind of eclectic in English?
Eclectic, yes.
Eclectic person. And there are many things that I am interested in. So I used also this time to be creative in other aspects also. But as a performer in music, it has been a big thing.
Yeah, are you able to still, maybe via Zoom, perform with other musicians, or has that not really? I know a lot of people have been turning to Zoom and platforms like that to connect and engage and still manage to work in some way, and that people have done like online concerts and things like that. Have you been doing anything like that, or has the work been
Yes,
more?
yes. I organized some online concerts, but I did it solo and trying to show different repertoire for the violin, also as well with my improvisations. Now I'm trying to organize another with the harpsichord player for this January. But I mean, it's like a sucedáneo, how to say, no? It's something like a concert, but not at all, because the natural energy, all the vibrations that you get in a live concert, it's really different experience to do it online.
Well, and you don't have the audience, the energy of the audience too,
yes.
Right? And
yes,
their
and you are playing and explaining things to a screen, and you guess that there is a lot of people behind, but you miss the energy of the human beings.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. For me to have to go online as a therapist, it's different, and I miss the energy of being in person, but I am talking to someone and seeing their face still and still engaging. But I think for teachers, for performers, it must be very, very different because you're not getting the feedback that you would normally get, when you're live.
Yes, and also something that most of the audience, they don't know and they don't think about it. It's that we get feed it we feed from the energy of the audience, and depending on what we receive, we give also something different. So it's really being a musician and doing a concert. It's a very interactive thing. That it seems that audience, they don't do anything, they are sat down, but it's not really like that, because we always play different with different audiences, because we are very, very sensitive to the energy of the audience as well.
Right. So did you always have a love of music? Did that start as a child, or?
Yes, because I started to play piano because I was in a small village, and there were not many instruments, but I really started very excited with the piano and singing also in a choir. And then some years after, I discovered the violin because I wanted to try a second instrument. And then I was playing both instruments for several years, and I went to competitions with both instruments, but slowly it got too busy. So then I had to choose one instrument, and finally I left the piano and I stayed with the violin. That it was no my second instrument that I started later, but really I could express what I am and my personality better with the violin than with the piano. Even though that the piano is a wonderful instrument, I love it, but it's more mechanical and it's difficult to get through these mechanics. Violin, it's very, very direct, no, very from the guts.
You're answering my next question, because I was going to ask you, why the violin in the end over the piano, or just in general. So tell me a little bit, with your studies focused specifically on Baroque violin. So what drew you to that? And maybe you can also explain a little bit, what that is and how it's different. And then tell us a little bit about your journey to choosing to focus specifically there.
Yes. The Baroque violin, I will explain a bit the difference, because we play with gut strings, so they are very natural, they are very sensitive to the changes of humidity, weather. Then we play with a Baroque bow that it's lighter. It has more speaking, so more like consonants, and it's very important in the historical performance, the articulation. We look for something closer to nature, more organic, and where the most important thing is the music, not the performer. And then when I started violin and I did all my studies, I finished all my career here in Spain, I was lacking the, how to say, not so romantical approach to the music, where it's like, I'm playing the violin and I will play for you this piece, no? Normally we had to play with a lot of vibrato, that it's this movement. Yes. It makes like a sound a bit like, oh, like opera singer, no? But with the violin. Yes. And my teachers always like, yeah, play with vibrato. I felt like I don't want to play with vibrato. I want to use vibrato when I want, in a special moment, for a special effect, no? So then this kind of more free approach to get inspired by the music and be a channel to make the music flow, I could not find it in the modern violin teaching, no? And then that's why I decided, because I started listening to some recordings, but this many years ago, maybe like 25 years ago, and I discovered, wow, this is what I want. I mean, to play with this aliveness, this rawness sometimes, because sometimes it's very raw, sometimes it's very I don't know, it has something, many colors, and very rooted with the earth and with the organic things, no, closer to nature. And then I decided to go to Holland, that it's one of the nest of historical performance. And it was great for me, because then I could feel at home. I felt like, oh yes, this is my place, this is my way of playing. And I can find other people that they feel music in the same way I do, no? And
So then, is the music also focused on the Baroque period, or you play all different types of music from different periods, but using a Baroque violin?
You can specialize, because it's an approach that you try to be as faithful as possible to how it was supposed to be played, that music. So you can do medieval music, Middle Ages, or you can do Baroque, or you can do classical style also, but you need different bow, different instrument, different way of playing, different ornamentation, because there were many things that were not written, but they were supposed to be in a certain way. So you have to know and to do a lot of research with facsimile manuscripts to know how you had to play, no? Because there are no recordings from that that time, so we have to read a lot, no?
Oh, wow, that's true. I hadn't thought of that, that you don't really know what it actually sounded like back then because you don't have anything to listen to. So in your work today, and that'll bring us to your first song selection today, from the album, you're playing with the Baroque violin?
Yes, I'm playing.
Okay.
It's not an original one because it's really hard to get a very good, in a good state instrument and affordable because they used to be very, very, very expensive. So I have a copy, but my instrument is from David Bagué. It's a Catalan violin maker, really, really good one. And then he made all the adjustments to do it in a Baroque setting.
So when you play the Baroque violin, am I understanding you actually play a violin from that period, or they're violins that are made today but in that style?
Both. You can,
Wow.
you can, whatever. I mean, if you are a very rich person, maybe you have an original instrument from that time.
Okay.
Or you can have a copy, as I do. But the most important thing is the way of playing. I mean, it's the historical performance. I mean, how to how to yeah how to live that music in that language, how you know that language, no?
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the first song you've chosen for us today.
The first song I chose, it's also included in my album. It's called Passaggio Rotto. It's from a composer that it's called Nicola Matteis. He was an Italian violin player and composer, and he's not very known or famous composer, even though even many, many musicians, they don't know him. But he had a very, very singular and personal way of playing and composing. And I like this piece because it's like a mixture between Italian style and British style, because he went to live to England because he was very curious spirit, and he traveled with his rucksack to Germany, and then he went to England and he died in England. So this piece, Passaggio Rotto, it means kind of a broken passage, no? And it's a bit like life, that you have one way or one direction, and then in one moment you say, no, no, maybe that way, and your life changes completely, no? And I like this piece because of this. What
I listening to your CD, this was my favorite. There was yeah, and maybe as I'm listening to you explain it, maybe also there's something, that kind of intuitively I felt just for the time, we're living in, because that's all of us right now, right? Our lives were going,
Yes.
in one direction, and now we've all, everyone has had a shift of some sort kind of,
Yeah.
imposed on us.
Yes.
So let's listen to, I'm going to let you say the name again.
Passaggio Rotto.
Okay, great. So tell us, that was beautiful. Um, Tell us a little bit about when you knew you wanted to become a musician, to have that as your career.
I remember when I started to play piano. I was 8, so I didn't think about becoming what, no, but already I felt so music. I'm so excited about music, so I felt that it was something for all my life. But when I started the violin, uh, then I was a bit older, like 11. And then when I became more like a teenager, my mother and my father also asking, but what do you want to do? And I told them, I really want to be a musician. And I'm so convinced. And they were so, they felt safe because I was so convinced that, okay, because many parents, they think, no, but you're not gonna earn money, you need to have a different career, blah, 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 in Spain at least, no, not in other countries. But yeah, I mean, since I started music, I knew that that was my thing, even though that I have many other curiosities about other things.
So yeah, we will get to some of your other interests because I don't know how you do it all. You're very busy with so many things. So when your parents, they were, it sounds like, they were concerned, as parents often are, about, our kids' career choices. What was it in you that decided not to? Because often, when parents pressure in that way, or really strongly urge their child to do something different, often, people go along with that, and maybe don't follow their kind of heart or their dream and do something that's maybe more practical and seems kind of a safer option. So what was it in you that enabled you to just say, you know what, I understand your concerns, but this is what I want to do?
I don't know. I felt it so sure inside. I felt that I could, because I was not very extrovert person in that time. I was very introvert. So for me, talking, like communicating, like switching with other people, it was difficult. And when I when I was playing or the piano or the violin, I felt like I could express everything that I was, even the things that you cannot express with words. So I
Right.
felt so at home with the music that I had no doubts that this was my way, and that I would find my path because it's what I felt, no, very strong.
Yeah, when listening to you, I feel like it makes us makes me want to go, and I played piano growing up, but I haven't played much, and thinking about how you can express yourself in that way, it sounds so therapeutic. Um,
Yeah, because
so
many feelings we cannot express with words. I mean, many subtle connections within us. It's something that there are no words to explain, and then it's like music has the power of bringing you to a very wide and rich space where everything is possible. All the colors also, I mean, everything, because it can be sadness, it can be anger, it can be love, it can be like this fulfillment. Many colors it has.
absolutely, and I guess too, as you mentioned earlier, the vibration too. The vibration of the instrument and of you connecting with the instrument, whether even your voice, has that vibration. So you sing as well.
Yeah.
And did you study voice, or you're just one of those kind of naturally able people that have an ability?
I mean, I have it quite natural, but when I started, as I told you, when I started piano, I was also singing. I was singing in the choir, and always they gave me kind of solo parts, and I really enjoyed it. But I never thought to become a singer or whatever. But I had a lot of training with the voice, but I never took like voice lessons. No, but just I mean, I was very lucky that in my village there was a very good trainer for the voice and for the choir, and we did very experimental things, and also with clusters of notes, very kind of modern for that time. And, but then when once I started violin, it was so absorbing because violin it's quite not easy instrument, so it needs a lot of energy and attention. I left completely the voice, my voice phase, no, let's say. But some years ago, I rediscovered again, and I thought, oh, why not? Because it comes so natural, and I don't have any kind of pressure because I'm not a singer. So I don't have to be perfect, and I don't have to be. So then I felt even a lot of freedom with that, and that's why I started to use it, because also it helped me to get more freedom in the violin, because violin school it's very rigid and very strict.
It's
So
interesting because the violin seems that it would be a very difficult instrument to play. And I don't know about in Spain, but in the US, when children are first being introduced to music in school, it's always the violin. They all, at a very young age, they start with the violin, and most, do not, stick with it in the end. But and I've always found it curious because it seems to me very, very difficult. I've never played, so
it is, but if you start from a very early age and you have good teachers, it can be very, because children are very natural and they take difficult things in a very natural way. So if you have the good guidance, it can be, and I guess it's, I mean, American school, it's very good school. So
yeah, this is just like casually, they're just introducing children to music within, the normal schools, and and it always, there's a joke that our kids are all home practicing their violin. Doesn't necessarily, the violin can sound really beautiful, and
no, I'm really
if it's
awful
not
also.
played well, so any instrument really, but so it's kind of a funny thing, and I've always been curious as to why they choose what seems like such a difficult instrument to start with. But tell us a little bit, because you have the program Hansel and Friends, that Handel and Friends, and is that's geared towards children and families?
Yes, this is organized by the Auditori from Barcelona, and it's like 25 years that they organize this program, that it's really special for families and for schools. So all the schools that they are interested in the project, they enroll in a way, and then they go to the Auditori to have the experience of going to a concert. And L'Auditori, it has many different proposals with different styles of music, because it can be very interesting to go to a Baroque concert, or to go to a romantic, or to go for children of 4 years old, or jazz, or yes, many other styles they have. So maybe 5 years ago, the auditory contacted me, and they wanted to do a Baroque project because they didn't have it yet. And they told me, yeah, you are the right person, because we don't need only a musician that plays. We need a person that communicates well, that can move on the stage in a natural way. So yeah, for me it was I felt very grateful, because it's a very beautiful project. I designed all the music that we played. I made the arrangements for the musicians that we are, because, for example, we play like the Summer from Vivaldi, that originally it's for orchestra, but we are only four musicians. So I did it. I did all that work. That it was really exciting, and now we are doing already 5 years, and it's really beautiful.
Wow.
The interaction with children, the children that they really discover something different, no? Or it's the first time that they go to a concert, and yeah, it's very. I really like it because
Yeah.
children are the future.
Well, and to introduce them to music that they might not hear otherwise. You know, the pop culture music is so prevalent, and you know, unless you have parents maybe who are listening to different types of music and classical music, you know, you might not have the exposure. So it's so wonderful to be able to give them that
Yes,
exposure.
and you realize that they love it. I mean, it's Baroque music, and they love it because it sometimes it's like rock, because Vivaldi can be very. If you play it in a very exciting way and very like alive, then they feel it, and they don't mind that it's Baroque or not. It just, wow, it's different, and they like it. So, and also the auditory does it in a very, very good way. They know, I mean, not more than 2 minutes for each piece,
Right.
very changing moods. So it's very, very well designed for children.
It sounds wonderful. It sounds like it could be a wonderful thing even for adults who may not know much about classical music and want to learn a bit, and you
Yes.
know, take it in small doses like that so that they can have the exposure.
We are doing it again. This I don't know if it's March or April, but you can find it in auditory programming. But it's we are doing it again. So if someone is interested, very welcome.
Okay, wonderful. So let's listen to your next song. Tell us a little bit about that.
About non-stop improvisation.
Yes.
This came out in a moment that I mean, I'm very emotional person, but I also am very mental, and sometimes I get fed up of so much thinking, so much noise outside and inside. So then I don't know, but I channeled this state, and I put it in this improvisation, trying to show this too much. I mean, this need of cleaning inside, cleaning outside, like being a bit more, yeah, I don't know, in silence.
Yeah, it was very interesting when I listened to it. I wasn't expecting. I mean, it's definitely not what you would expect of kind of a classical violin, you know, album. So let's give a listen.
Okay.
So it's a very energetic piece, and you do get the sense. I got the sense, at least as I listened to it, of a mind that's kind of out of control, like thoughts and thoughts, and shifting from one thing and kind of can't just stop and kind of shut it out for a little while.
Yeah, yeah.
So I watched the video that you shared, a video of it seems to me it seems like a performance art piece, a drop in the ocean.
Mhm.
And in it, you play the violin, but you also sing and act a bit as well. Tell us about A Drop in the Ocean and how it came to be. And I understand that it is autobiographical to some extent.
Yes, yes, it's autobiographical. Yes. I mean, before starting that trip of a drop in the ocean, I realized, because I created a show also for children, that it's Gulliver's Trip, about Gulliver's Trip journey, or I don't know how to say.
Travels. In English, we say Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah, Gulliver's Travels. And I started acting there because I was Gulliver and I had to, but it came very natural. And then I realized, wow, this I really enjoy to do it, this acting and this kind of going farther than only being a musician, playing behind a music stand. And so there I could find another phase inside myself. And then I started looking for ways of, I felt, oh, why not studying acting? But I didn't want to acting as a theater, or I wanted something very free and very, and then thanks to a friend that she was doing a workshop with Maria Stoyanova, uh, yeah, she told me about her. I tried some of her sessions and I really loved it, because it was a very deep training about acting, about unconscious acts, about working with sphincters, and many. It was very opening, like another dimension. And then I felt I want to create my own work based on what I am, and which is the message that I want to give to people. And all of us, we have our wounds or traumas or problems that are not solved yet. And I created that work to overcome what it was my problem in that moment, and to make it art, and to sublimate, no, I don't know how to say in English, but to not stay in the problem and in the trauma and in the wound, to really go and laugh about it already.
So
So
to move beyond it.
yeah, yeah. This was my trip with that performance. It's like a 50 minutes performance, and I combine uh, playing the violin, acting, singing, and also interacting with public. Also, because I really like that people have experience with sound, because it's also a sound trip, but it's very personal. I really get very naked with my soul, saying, "Look, this is what I am. This is the problem I have," and but not very
Well,
explicit, no?
as a therapist, often when we can put it out there in some way, and give voice to it, so to speak, in your case, voice and music, and and we can, it is the way that we can kind of move through it, and it's a part of us. We take it with us, but we can move through it so that it doesn't necessarily have the same impact or the same control maybe over us. We can take control over the trauma or over the emotions or feelings about whatever it is that we've gone through or we're going through, versus it kind of allowing it to control us. So it seems like it was a therapeutic piece, and that in that too, it helps, others who are viewing it. I'm sure people can watch it and there's things that they relate to, and that touch them. So it's interesting because you do a lot of improvisation. And, one of the things that, I'm thinking as you were talking earlier about the rigor and the discipline in playing the violin. And how did you, if you're playing jazz, there's improvisation is often kind of part of
but
it,
it's
right?
very strict also, jazz, very strict, because you improvise, but within the harmony, it's really not so free.
It doesn't seem as they make it look freer than it is.
Yeah.
So, but tell us how did you come to begin and feel confident to improvise using an instrument that requires so much rigor and discipline?
Overcoming fear. This was the first step, because violin, you have, and also from classical music, you have this is right and this is wrong. This is good and this is bad. And this in your brain and in your heart, it makes a big collapse, because or you are right or you are wrong. No,
Right.
and you try to be always right and to be always good. So then I needed to break this, because I was feeling a bit like I couldn't breathe. So then when I started improvising, it was with Folia Project. And at the beginning, I was so afraid, because I improvised and then I thought, but this, I don't like it. But then with the person that I was working with also, she was telling me, doesn't matter, it's what it comes now. Now it's like this, no judging. No, I mean, don't judge it. And it's not good, it's not bad, it's what it's now. And slowly, this was not going into myself that, there is no right and no wrong. It's just what it comes out. And you learn from doing it, and you learn from overcoming your fear. And you can find yourself and your personal language when you dare to do something. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad, but you dare to do it, no? And
it's wonderful.
But it sounds really difficult to overcome, because I was really, because always we want to be nice, we want to be good, we want to be right, and to dare to be not nice or not good or not beautiful, or it's like you are very afraid, because it's very important what the others think, if they like it, they don't like it.
Absolutely. And yet there's something, as you were talking, it sounded a bit Buddhist to me. What your friend was saying is that it doesn't, it's just, you're here now, and this is what's happening now, and not to judge it, that it's not good or bad. I think that, it's in our nature, to judge and to label and to categorize things. But sometimes it is at our detriment, I think. And this, it sounds like it was very freeing for you to be able to say, you know what, this is just what I'm feeling and doing now, and it doesn't have to be.
It's fun, because once I started to improvise and to allow myself to be wrong in a way, I started to play the violin much better. I mean, my performing, it really became much better, because there was something that I got free inside,
right.
that I could not get with this very classical school of, this is the way. No, there is only one way. And if you don't do that way, you are lost, or you're dead. No?
Yeah. It's fascinating. And so, I lost my thought. I'm just thinking about that it, in freeing you, that you felt that it improved your dance. I'm thinking, I love the ballet. I studied ballet and am a big ballet aficionado. Love to go and see it, and missing it right now. But and thinking of classical dance training as well, I could see how it may be hard to free yourself to dance in a more improvisational way, and yet it might also be a relief,
Yes,
to
yes,
sometimes
because it's
not have to.
very stiff, no? I mean, it's very good comparison, no, with ballet, because you can see how the shapes of the body and the tension that there is there.
Absolutely.
And when you see a contemporary dancer, it's like emotion. It's completely breaking the boredoms, or no. So with
Right.
music, it's the same. It's the same.
So, and again too, I think that that's the piece that can be very therapeutic too for people, to be able to see that you can break free, and you don't have to be confined to whatever standards, that maybe there's times where that's appropriate and necessary, but that it's okay to challenge ourselves and do something different, even if it's not within, you know, whatever role you have in life, and whatever job you do, sometimes we get very stuck in having to do things a certain way. So through this, you were able to channel a whole nother side and have a whole nother experience with it. So let's take a break to hear your third selection for today. Tell us what that is.
Third piece is Passacaglia from Heinrich Ignaz Franz von Weber. He was a composer before Bach, and he was a very, very intuitive, very imaginative, and very crazy composer, very good violin player. So he wrote, many, many pieces, and he wrote a lot for violin. And this piece, it's the last piece of a set that it's the Rosary Sonatas, that they are dedicated to the life of Mary and Jesus. So it's very spiritual and religious music. And the last piece, all the pieces, all these Rosary Sonatas, they have a small engraving, and this last one, Pasacaglia, it has like the angel of the guard angel, and you see the little Jesus with the guard angel, no? And it's a piece that it's for the people that they will listen to it. It's very nice because I like to have an active like listening. It's four notes that they repeat from the beginning to the end, four notes, always the same four notes, but it with many, many improvisations of the violin, but always with the skeleton of these four notes. So it's like this was very, it was very, how to say, common in that time, this passacaglia bass, no? Because it's something that gets very sticky because it's always these four notes, but with a lot of ornamentation, like creativity, freedom.
Sorry about that.
So it's very nice to follow this. And for me, I mean, with this engraving and also with the movement of these four notes, it's like the walking in life. It's like you don't know where it starts and where does it end, no? But you go on, go on, go on, and always happening things, but always with this step by step of these four
Okay.
notes.
Okay, let's take a listen.
Yeah.
So that was lovely. Let's shift gears a little bit because you have so many things that you're involved with. You wrote a book called Mujerísima. Tell us about the book and what motivated you to sit down and put pen to paper, so to speak.
I mean, all my life I dedicated it to music, but yeah, I love writing, and also because I'm very curious person. Also, I suffered from my emotional things, so I did a lot of personal work of transformation, like accepting all my wounds, like overcoming them. So, as a woman and as a human being. So, in some maybe already 1 year ago, I felt that all this that I suffered and I lived and I overcame, I wanted to to be the inspiration for other women to go on also with their wounds and their problems, and to know that there is the way of becoming free and becoming more powerful with yourself, and recognizing your own value, and and singing your own voice in life. So this for me, yeah, it's very important, and that's why I wrote the book also, because sometimes we want to feel included in the society, so we it seems that we have to be the same, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't dare to be ourselves, and we don't dare to take our own way, because we don't want to be like deleted from the group. In a way, we are afraid of that.
Right. So there's a level that we conform, even if it doesn't feel true to ourselves.
Yes,
So
yes,
so the book is geared to women, though, to help them
yes.
get
I
back
mean,
in touch.
could be for men also, but maybe I will write another for men. But in principle, I wrote it for women. Yes, because I'm a woman. I have the experience of being a woman also in my professional life, in my personal life. Many things that we have, that we can get rid of them, and emotional things like guiltiness, also like fear of shining, just this dependency on men and relationships, and many aspects that are important for me as a woman, and I think that many women can be interested by them, no, because we all
And is the focus on the book using the arts, or is it really
yeah.
just on transformation?
Yes, it's about transformation, but I propose some exercises, also some meditations with the music of my solo CD. So I kind of linked it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, but exercises that how to solve some things in a practical way also. That this
Okay.
sometimes we know it mentally, but we don't know how to do it in practice.
So, and now you're offering a women's circle. You've done one, as I understand it. You've facilitated or led a women's circle, and you're going to be offering another one. So, we're coming to the end. It goes so quickly, but give us the listeners a little bit of an idea of what the women's circle is like, and what someone could expect from joining it, and then how people can get in touch with you if they'd like to take part.
Yes. I mean, there are different forms, because it depends on also how every person needs or wants. But the Women's Circle, they are organized in a way that now I'm doing them online, because it's very difficult to do it like no, with presence, like live. But it's a place where we share how we are and what do we need, And then also I go in a trip of the themes that are for me important. Like, for example, purpose in life, which is my purpose, and which is the vehicle that I can use to get my purpose. And then also we work in limiting beliefs. In beliefs, yeah, that don't allow us to be free and to do what we really want. And then we work also on femininity, and we work also on creativity in the everyday life, as an everyday life challenges. So we share. I propose some exercises also that we do, and then there are also some creative acts also that women can do. And sometimes also I play, or the violin or other instruments, or I use my voice, and also we use our voice to overcome some kind of blocks. And yes, I mean, I'm continuously like designing new forms. So
and the exercises, are do you do them in a group? Are they, to be done individually or during the group?
Some of them, they are individual. I mean, maybe we can close the screen or the video, and then every woman does it herself. Or some other exercises we do it like together, because it's very good, the interaction between women, because we are all very wise and we can learn a lot from each other.
Well, I think it's a wonderful way too for people who may not think of themselves as creative or artistic, and have a way to express themselves. It opens that up for them and gives, encourages them to maybe, as you say, use your voice, or maybe it's your body or other artistic expression to deepen our understanding of ourselves.
Yes.
Tell people how they can learn about it if they'd like to. We'll post it as well on Facebook. But they
can go to my fan page in Facebook, that it's Adriana Alcaide Mujerísima, or they can contact me via email, like adriana@adrianaalcaide.com.
Okay, great.
Yes, they can contact me whenever.
Okay, Adriana, it's gone too fast. There's so much more that I want to ask you about, particularly about the book and the Women's Circle. But we are out of time. So thank you so much for joining us. And you've chosen the last piece to end the show with. So tell us about that.
This last piece, it's Hokkaido. It's the name of a Japanese island, the most on the north of Japan. I've done many trips there, playing with the Japanese musicians, and it has inspired me so much. I mean, I got and received so many things from the nature, from the people from there, that they are beautiful souls, that I felt this gratefulness, and I had to put it in a piece. So this is my thank you piece for all I lived there.
Well, thank you for joining us and for sharing your journey and sharing your beautiful music with us.
Thank you, Mia.
And goodbye until next week, Barcelona.
Yes.